I love the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's one of my favorite Christmas horror movies of all time. I even love Part 2, which is a camp classic. But what about Part 3? Most people seem to hate this entry in the franchise. It has an abysmal 3.5 out of 10 user rating on the Internet Movie Database, and a quick YouTube search shows that many horror YouTubers hate the film as well. But is it that bad? Well, let's take a closer look.
No! No!
Ricky Caldwell, the Santa Claus killer from Part 2, is in a coma after the events of that film. Now, the doctors had to reconstruct part of Ricky's brain, so he has a weird thing on his head covering his brain. It's been described as looking like a clear salad bowl, but I think it looks pretty cool. It's definitely unique. An obsessive doctor wants to make contact with Ricky, so he uses a psychic blind girl named Laura to link up with his mind. So she's successful at making contact, but the whole thing is a little much for her, so she wants to quit the experiment.
And then she'll let me go as deep as I want. She likes it. Loves it.
Damn, can you blame her? What is this guy, some kind of pervert? She leaves the hospital with her brother, who's got some rockin' hair, and his girlfriend to spend Christmas with their grandmother. But wouldn't you know, Ricky wakes up from his long slumber and he's now psychically connected to Laura. He knows exactly where she's headed and will stop at nothing to find her. Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw Ricky walking the streets of Seattle the other day. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 is a movie I loved as a kid. And you know what? It still holds up. The film is nicely directed by Monty Hellman, who actually appeared in the movie as the drunken Santa Claus. There's not a ton of gore here, but the stuff we do get is great. Oh, and I absolutely love the musical score in this movie. I really wish it would get a CD release. It's just fantastic. The movie has a great cast, and everyone gives a good performance. I especially liked Laura's brother, Chris. He's a very likable character, along with his girlfriend. The legendary Robert Culp appears as a wise-ass detective, and he gives a fun performance.
Well, studying snakes is your thing, Doc. Stomping on them is mine.
One of the many criticisms of this film is that Laura is not a very likable character. And yeah, she comes off as a jerk at times, but I never had a big problem with her character. Another criticism is that the great Bill Moseley is wasted here as a zombie-like, mute killer. But again, I thought he did a fantastic job and really sold a lot of the scenes with his performance. It was interesting seeing him in this sort of role compared to what he usually plays in horror films. Now, the movie was a bit leisurely paced at times, but I never found it boring like everyone else does. I was invested in the characters and the storyline. Honestly, I was.
Hey, Bubblehead!
Is it live or is it Memorex?
Okay, this line always cracked me up, but I had no idea what the hell he was talking about here. I actually had to look it up.
New Memorex videotape. Even after 100 recordings, you'll wonder, is it live or is it Memorex?
Talk about a deep cut. Hopefully one day I'll be able to use that line in real life. Now, the movie isn't perfect. Laura's psychic abilities are too undefined. And yeah, there's a bit of filler here and there, with some scenes that go on just a tad too long, but it's nothing major. Oh, and I didn't like the fate of a certain character at the end either. It should have been different. There was one scene where our characters are attacked and there's no music.
Whatever it is.
Holy shit!
It's no use.
Was that intentional? It kind of came off as a bit awkward to me. But overall, I really enjoyed this one. The negative reviews are so over the top. It's not a perfect movie, but it's nowhere near as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Vestron Video put out a 3-disc set that includes Silent Night, Deadly Night parts 3 through 5, and it's a beautiful set. Each film has excellent picture quality and some nice special features. So if you haven't already, definitely pick it up. You can get it for very cheap. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 is like comfort food for me. I always have a great time watching it, and I really wish people would give the movie another chance. So what do you guys think? Am I nuts for loving this movie? Let me know in the comments. And Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.